Hello, welcome to episode 170 of Quarkus Insights. We've got more AI for you. We're going to be seeing some fun stuff with Quarkus and LangChain4j and AI agents with Sebastien Blanc. So, with that, I think we can get started. Oh, have we got any news? I've clicked the news thing before asking if we had any news. Any news? No news.
Any news? A point release went out, I think.
It's fundamentally unexciting for Quarkus, which is the way it should be, really.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No news, good news.
No? Cool. In that case, I guess we can get started with the AI toys. But before we start, do you want to introduce yourself, Sebi?
Yeah, of course. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. So I'm Sebastien Blanc, but you can call me Sebi. I'm currently a developer advocate at Ivan. Before that, I spent almost 10 years at Reddit, and that is where I discovered Quarkus. And as I usually say to people, my job is to make developers happy. So that's what I'm trying to do with talks, workshops, crazy projects like what I will show you today. And I'm based in the south of France, and I have 5 cats. One of the cat is currently on my lap.
Yay!
Yay!
Best demo ever already.
And the other ones are not so far, and they may come out along. That's it for me.
Cool. And with that, I guess we can get started. So what are you going to be talking about today?
Yes. So today, what I will be talking about, you see here already a paper, but I remember a few years ago, actually, when I had my first iPhone, not my first iPhone, but the first time that Siri was available on my iPhone, and that I met someone that also had an iPhone. The first thing that I wanted to try out was let the two Siris talking together, and let's see what happens. And it because I always was wondering what could happen. It didn't work really well. I know that you can find some funny videos on the internet about someone that has 3 Alexa Amazons at home that start talking together with crazy stuff, and where they order stuff to the supermarket, and the family come back home. So the fact that you have autonomous agents speaking together is always something that I liked. And then, but it was for me too complicated to code those things because I didn't knew anything about AI, about machine learning, deep learning, and last year, a colleague of me, Elena, who has a really cool YouTube channel, by the way, there she is. She's an awesome speaker, by the way. She did a video where she speaks about a paper that came out in August last year, so almost a year ago, called Generative Agents Interactive Simulations. That's really hard for me to pronounce as a Frenchman. Simulacra of Human Behavior. And I really advise you to, maybe I can put that in the private chat, and you can put it in the, if you want, if people want to go there and subscribe to the channel, where she explained a paper. And so I went to this paper, and I think it's the first time ever that I really read a whole paper, the whole pages, because I really suggest you to read this paper. Let me put the link as well there. And it basically explained an experiment where they have put a lot of small agents backed by an LLM, and each of the agents have an age and a profession, and they live in a virtual world, and they just see what happens. And because it's a paper, they really describe how to do stuff. Let me really go through the paper because it's really, really interesting. But stuff like, let me see where it is, memory. Yeah, stuff like this. They say, hey, what can an agent do? He can perceive, he has a memory, he can reflect, he can retrieve memories. And that is more or less the same moment that I read this paper that I started to play with LangChain4j with Quarkus. Okay, so it was a combination of those two. And then I realized, hey, I say, when I read this paper, I think I can re-implement that with Quarkus because it's so easy with Quarkus, and the heavy job is done by the LLMs. And so let's try it. Let's start it. And I started to play a bit, and because most of the stuff I knew more or less how to do it. Memory stream, yeah, we have that already in LangChain4j. The retrieval, the rack part, it's also really easy to do, and yeah, and quickly I discovered that it will be really hard to go as far as they did, because they were, if you take at the beginning here, there's a lot of people here working that for months and months with unlimited credit from OpenAI. So because that's also an aspect, it's fun to
Yeah. I mean, it looks like they basically re-implemented The Sims on OpenAI.
yeah. Well, if you read the paper, they mentioned The Sims and so. And I say, okay, let me try to do the same. So the first thing I had to think about was having a bot to respond to something. It's really easy. That is the new hello world that we are all doing. We are all building chatbots. We provide a prompt and it replies to us. But here the situation was I have one chatbot that wants to talk to another chatbot. So how should I implement that? The really first idea I had was, well, one bot will expose a REST endpoint that will be his ears, and then I have a REST client that will be his mouth to speak, because I really try to keep, let's think like a human, and let's try to shape that in my application. But I quickly abandoned this idea, because if you expose a REST endpoint, that implies a URL that the other bots needs to know, and etc. And I was not sure it's really synchronous. And I say, hey, it will be nice if a bot could subscribe to something, to a channel, to a topic, and listen, and it could also publish stuff there. So publish, subscribe. And there you will think, hey, let's use Kafka. Yeah, that because everyone is using Kafka nowadays. And don't worry, there will be some Kafkas after that as well. But finally, it was also the moment that it was a bit of opportunity for me. In my company, we just released a free plan for Redis. Well, Ivan for caching, because of funny license stuff. I'm not allowed to say Redis anymore. We call it Ivan for caching. And there I was playing a lot with the pubzip command, which is really easy. I subscribed to a channel in Redis, and then I can listen to events that comes there, and it's really flexible. I put the value that I want. I say, so let's start with this. So basically, that is where, and let me go to the. That is where I decided that will be the communication systems of my bots or my avatars. So basically, there's one Redis. I put here Redis Valky, the open source alternative for Dragonfly. Anything that is Redis compatible and that has pubsub. Okay, basically each bot has its own channel. Okay, and every other bot can send messages to this channel, and for instance, Bob, you will be listening to Bob. So if someone is speaking to Bob, if Alice is speaking to Bob, she will put a message there. He will read it, and he knows it's from Alice. So he will reply by sending a message to Alice. Okay, so that's the basic system. Okay, and Kafka stuff, I will come there later. That was the basic system that I wanted. If I managed to do that, then I was already far enough to because that's the most important thing, having bots communicating together. Then I had to think about the bot itself. What do I want him to be able to do? I want him to be able to speak. But if you read the paper, what they say, once two bots finish a discussion, you would like them to have a time where they reflect, where they can have observations, they can isolate facts, etc., and put that in their internal memory. So the second time that they chat together again, they can retrieve specific memories from each other and continue the conversation, or pick up a new conversation and sometimes put some old memories. Okay, so that's why I decided to create different services. Let me go here. So here you can see the big picture of my avatar. First thing, and that was also a decision that I made, each bot is a singular Quarkus app. Okay, I could have put all my bots in one single app, but again, I thought, let's think like an application is a human, and so each human is a different app. And if for in the future as well, because I want to deploy that to Kubernetes, of course. And I say it makes sense that each bot is a pod, for instance, but we can discuss that later. But anyway, each bot is an app, okay? And what do they have?
If it's not microservices, are you even trying?
Yeah, exactly. And so what do they have? They have a discussion AI service. That is what I mentioned right now. That is just to have the discussion. But then they also have a reflection AI service. So each time that they're done with chatting, each bot take all the memories, and I ask the LLM, hey, create me a nice summary of the discussion that you just had. And you can have reflections, of course, but also facts and stuff like that. And please ingest that. So I have here a reflection ingester, put that in chunks and put that in a vector database. And I put that in PG vector. Okay, because I was also trying to promote the free Postgres that we have at Ivan. Because people say, hey, why don't you use Redis as embedding store? Yeah, the problem was that our Redis didn't have the embedding feature, because that's just for Redis stack. And of course, if they start a new discussion, they can use the reflection retriever that will retrieve all the memories. In between here, we have the memory stream. So that is built in LangChain. That is a bit the RAM. Okay, during a conversation, during the session, there's an in-memory memory that keep all the prompts that were exchanged. Okay, that is something built in default. You have nothing to do. So it was there already. And then I have here the Bleep AI service. And you might think, hey, what is Bleep? I thought, hey, now they can speak. They can have the conversations. They can have reflections. It would be nice that after they had a reflection, a bit like we do, we make a tweet. Okay. So I say, let's invent their own social media. So I created their own social media. And at the end of each discussion, each bot can create a bleep, which is like a tweet, and they can post that on the social media of the planet or from the virtual world that they created. So I created a specific service for that. And then you can see here, I put different LLMs, because as I told you in the beginning, I was only using OpenAI, which was pretty nice, but quite quickly my credits, because I was putting $10, and after 5 minutes of discussion, no, maybe 10 minutes of discussion, I was out of credits and stuff like that. I said, wow. By that time, I discovered Olama. So for people probably know Olama, I got it running here. Basically, I know you. It's like the Docker for LLMs a little bit. I know that Dimitri, you say that LangChain is the Hibernate for LLMs, which is great, which I'm reusing now since I saw your quote. I think that Olama, at least for your local host, is a bit the Docker for LLMs. You install that, you can pull in models, and you can run that locally. It works pretty well, especially if you have an M1. It's not as fast as OpenAI, but at least you can try out for free, and you can try out different models. And I also discovered another one last week, by the way, which is called Grok. Grok is fast in. It's really fun. It's using LPU. I don't know if you know what LPU is. I discovered that last week. LPU is for language processing unit. It's even better than GPU. Anyway, it's crazy. They have a cloud offering for free, no credit card asked, and you can have some chat completion and stuff like that. It's blazingly fast. It's using Llama 3, so the model is quite good. But you have pretty low rate limit, at least for me, for bots speaking together. I reached the limit really fast. But the great thing with Quarkus is in LangChain4j is that you can easily define different model LLMs providers, and you can mix that in your app. You can say, hey, this service is using this one, and in the application properties, I can just switch, and I could have my discussion bot speaking with OpenAI. And so you can make it really modular inside your app, and depending on your needs, because sometimes you need a big context window, other times you need speed, or you want to have good quality, so by doing this way, you can really find a good balance, and what you really can do is do experiments. Okay, so that is what I decided to create for my bots, yeah, when I was there, it was almost time to try it out the first time. So maybe I can do a first demo, okay, and then I will.
Cool.
Okay, so I can go. Let's go. Let's have them talk together, and after that I will go a bit through the code. Other great stuff, since I'm using Redis, Postgres, and Kafka, you will see as well, but it's all backed by dev sources. That means that I can run my application completely locally, which is super cool. I don't depend on any external services, especially if I do everything with Olama. I can really run it even offline. So I've been playing that in the plane while I was flying, because yeah, it can all run offline. So this is pretty cool. So I start my first bot. By default, this one is called Bob. Okay, so he will start. Should be pretty fast. Well, he has to launch the dev sources. So here is launching Kafka. I will explain you why I'm using Kafka later. But if you take a look here at my dashboard, I should have, on the wrong screen. I should have here a PG Vector, a Redis, and a Red Panda. Okay, so that's cool. And then I can launch my second bot. And this time I override one property, the name of the avatar. I call this one Alice, and I specify another port, okay, to be sure there's no problem. Okay, and what we can see here in the log, when the application starts up, it subscribes itself to a Redis channel called Bob. Okay, so you subscribe to his own ears. That's what I like to say. And this one is started as well. Okay, and now I can start a discussion. And let me just show you the generic prompt that I gave to my avatars. And if you follow me on Twitter, you probably know about it. So here I say, you are an inhabitant from the planet Epola, very small and cozy planet. Your name is, so in this case, it will be Bob. And you are starting the discussion with Alice. That will, I will pass that in the parameters. Then I have a lot of instructions, okay? Additional context, I will come back on this later, but if you want, you can give some additional context. If you don't give an additional context, they will just come up with a discussion. Okay, it's really funny, and that's it. Okay, so let's start having a discussion with our bots, and for that, so that is Bob is here, is on port 8080. Okay, what I can start here. So here, Alice is running on 81, and I say start a discussion with Bob. That should work. Let's see.
So now there's no history. They start from scratch.
Sorry?
There's no history. Now they start from scratch.
Just start from scratch, exactly. And that's also the nice thing. So look at this. They start playing, hey, Alice, so it goes really fast. That's another challenge that I had to face. But hi, Alice, it's nice to meet you. I'm Bob from the tiny and cozy planet of Hipoda. I'm feeling wonderful today. Thank you. How are you doing? So here I have to go back to the first conversation, and she says, hi, Bob, it's great to meet you. Let me see. Oh, they start speaking about flowers. That really happens really often. On the planet Epola, they discovered really weird type of flowers, plants, and they love to discuss about that. So here, the glowing flowers. Yeah. So here they discovered a glowing flower that's apparently in the night sky. So yeah, here they have discovered they're talking about this plant. And look, they're still talking. Can take a really long time. And that was the first challenge that I had to face, because depending on the models, no, the first thing I had to decide is how do I tell the the bots, or how do one bot tells to the other bot, okay, I'm done talking, let's finish this discussion. Because here, I guess they will discuss forever, because it's LLMs in the end, and they can go in a loop. So what I
I'm
decided.
beginning to see why you had a problem with the OpenAI credits.
Yeah, exactly. And I think here I made not a mistake, but I think it's using GPT-4. So my credits are getting used here. Maybe at one point it will stop. But what I did here, yeah, let me just do a word wrap here. Word wrap. So that will be better. So interlocutor or yourself can end this discussion when it's appropriate by replaying stop with brackets. But you don't explain this in the conversation. Yeah, otherwise it will stop directly the conversation. It's really, I thought it was something easy, but it's actually the thing I'm getting the most problems with right now. And you can see they're still talking. But the thing is, if one of the bots sends stop, okay, then the discussion will end. And it's not going to happen right now. So you know what? Let me stop those here. Let me stop those, and let me change one thing. Let me go to my discussion bot. That is this one. And here I can say use Olama. With a bit of luck, with Olama, they will stop their discussion. So let me start it again.
It's like the Turing halting problem, but completely different.
Now, because I want to show you what happens once they're done discussing, because that's a really interesting part. Oh, and I didn't delete the database, so that's funny. They will retrieve memories from the previous discussion, but that should work because, you know, it's still there. So let me start a discussion here, and let's see what they come up with.
How big is your memory window?
The context window. So when I'm using GPT-4o, it's huge. It's 30K tokens. So that is a lot of discussion. Here, it's using Llama 3, so it's way smaller. It's 4K, I think. But I asked them to keep small conversation, a max of, I think I told them here in the discussion, I say never exceed 500 characters. So that's one way of
constraining. And then for your in-memory rolling window, is it like 10, 20?
And I keep the defaults. That is stuff where I need to work on. And I have a lot of ideas. Oh, but look what happened here. That's interesting. So here I can see here that Alice sent stop. She said, "Hey, I'm done talking with you," and so it was time to reflect. Okay, so they start to reflect. So here we go to another bot, the reflection bot, and here the system message is: "You are the brain and memory of the bot, an independent of Epola, because it states that you have to repeat everything. You reflect on the provided memories." And the user message is generate a summary of the conversation you had with interlocutor from the context and from the point of view of name. You can add facts, but also reflections. And so let's see what she reflected. I had the pleasure of having a lovely conversation with my dear friend Bob from Ipola. We spent an evening exchanging stories and sharing our late discoveries. And it was wonderful to catch up with him. Okay, so that's one is using, I don't know which model. So he ingested the reflection that has been put in chunks and put in the vector database. And now the next time, and we will do that, we will start another conversation. They will start speaking again. And they are also treating bleeping. I will show you that a bit later. Let's start a new discussion again. So I just have to hit it again here, and they should just continue a new discussion. Let me see. So stuff I didn't manage here because they know each other already. Here, nice to meet you. Yeah, depending on the model, sometimes they say, hey, looks like the first time we met, even if they mix existing memories. Okay, it's really hard to. GPT-4, for instance, is really good at this. If you provide the good memories, they say, hey, nice to meet you again. Exactly. And because I try to do my best, like here, if it's an ongoing conversation, you don't introduce yourself, okay? Because sometimes it works, sometimes it didn't. That's the fun of generative AI. But it's oh, look, here's her probably organizing a festival, a fire. Look at this. They love to organize stuff together. So here they're speaking about a firefly dance party. Okay, so that sounds fun as well. But you can see it's this model is a lot around nature and stuff like that. I've been doing some tests with uncensored models just for the fun. Let's see if they fight together. But anyway, um, but anyway, that's the thing. And here, as you said, as you saw, the only context that I gave them is you are working, you are living on the planet Ipola. But I can give some additional context. Let's try this. So let me stop that. And let me see, avatar. Yeah, exactly. That's the one that I did for the stream So let me do that. Is Bob. And I give some additional context. I can maybe increase it a bit, but here I say, whoop, you are a Quarkus developer. I'm really exciting. Oh, yeah, I do a lot of typos. I'm really excited about the upcoming live stream. Excited about the upcoming live stream called Quarkus Insights, speaking about autonomous conversational agents living on Ipola. Okay, so let's try this out. And
we can leave, and then we can leave. Yes,
yeah, I was just thinking that.
Maybe the next stream will be okay. This one is good. Let me see, and then let's start the other one with Alice with the same context. Alice, let me fix the typo. Excited. Okay, so here I start Alice with this additional context. And let's wait for it to be started. Yeah, there we go. Redis client, it should be good. And let's start the conversation. Okay. And they should start a conversation, hopefully. Yeah. I'm thrilled to be talking to you today. I'm super excited about the upcoming Quarkus Insight livestream, especially since it's cover autonomous. What do you think about it? And here they will start talking about autonomous agents, how it can help their planet, how it can. And really, I've been spending, especially when it was Olama that I didn't have to pay, like an hour watching just crazy discussion going on about my bots. Okay, and basically you were asking just before the stream, could I have another bot? Basically, it's just a matter of saying MVN. MVN. Here I could say port 82, and the avatar is called. Mike. Okay, and now I have a third avatar, and at any point I can ask Alice to also start a discussion with Mike. Should also work. I should also see she will be talking with. Oh, I was a bit. It wasn't started yet, but here she should.
Port though, no. Okay, well, the
yeah,
port defines the bot, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So here, I think Alice will have a conversation both with Alice. Oh, maybe I was a bit too early. Let me try again. It should work because basically she put a message on. Oh, there we go. Hi, Alice. I'm Mike from Ipola. So here's we'll have different discussion, and once they're done discussing, if I start a discussion between Mike and Bob, there's a big chance that they will talk about Alice because they have common memories, okay? And they say, hey, we should do a trip together with Alice and go to this place where we can see the glowing, the glowing stuff, the glowing plants, the glowing flowers. Yeah. Oh, here, look, they're looking about NLP. Yeah, that's because they're focused now on the additional context that I gave them. But that's it. You can give any context that you want. You could have, I don't know, it could be in a company and you have a panel of users and you provide a new ID and you say, hey, let's see what let's start a discussion between the panelists and see what is coming out of this discussion. It could be a nice, if one day I want to become rich with this idea, that's something I could do. Or for the elections, in France, it's crazy show right now. I could have some political debates, but for now, I prefer my small cozy Ipola planet, and so that was in the beginning, and it worked really well. I'm really happy about it.
And we've
But
got a pointer from Zeneb, because she says they don't follow instructions necessarily when there's too many instructions in a
Yes.
single prompt.
In a single prompt. I'm discovering that I'm playing a lot with the prompt. For a long time, I was making jokes that prompt engineering. I say, come on, prompt engineering. But now I realize it's a real skill. And LangChain makes it easy for us by providing templates and stuff like that. But still, you have to try out things, and there are good practices. And but the great thing here, if you go to the Quarkus LangChain for documentation, I think you have some good tips here about prompt engineering techniques, like using the dots, few such techniques. So for people wondering what's the best way to prompt, that's a good starting point. It lives in the in the documentation of LangChain4j, but it gives you some good options here. But at one point, let me see. Let me go here.
You need
This is
to
really
show
fun.
us the blips, though. Right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm going to show you the blip. Of course. That's my next one, because it's really funny here, but these are basically log statements. If you go here to my avatar, let's just stop them for now. I will restart them in a few. Avatar. So the code is pretty simple. Okay, I have my avatar. I embed now my chunks locally. That's also something that you can do easily. I was first using OpenAI, but that's also costs money. But you can do local embedding. So then I have my discussion bot, my reflection bot, my blip bot, my memory store to retrieve my memory, my reflection ingester. I will explain you later. I'm also pushing all the discussions and all the stuff on Kafka. Okay. Because why not? And here, what you see here is basically logs. Okay, I say, but I would need to have something visual, something nice, a bit like they have in this paper here. They have this really nice thing. And they are using something called Phaser, which is a JavaScript game framework. And I took a look, and it's pretty easy. I say, so let me create also my word. So what I decided to do was a really simple interface here. And oh no, it's not running. So let me start it. I created a separate app called the Avatar Admin that will host the word, and it will be a bit the central point, hosting the front end, but also the communication with all the other bots and stuff like that. So let me start this one. Okay, there we go. That should be good now. Yeah, it should be connected to the same. I have to be sure that they all connect to the same dev service, but usually that happens. Yeah, I even managed to do a small animation. I was really, really proud of that. And also thank you, ChatGPT, for helping me building the front end, because I'm really bad at that. And yeah, honestly, that's the only. To be honest, the only situation where I really use a lot ChatGPT. But anyway, that is Alice, that is Bob, I think. Let me start them again. Without... let me start Bob. Let me start Alice. Let me wait. Let me be sure they are in the same. And it might be fun because I still haven't reset the database, so they will still retrieve old memories, but that can make it fun. Let's see what happens. There we go. And now, instead of triggering the discussion here with the curl, what I have instead is this front end here. And let me just refresh it because I'm not entirely sure. And here I have a button start chat, and that will send a message on the Redis broker, and that should trigger a discussion between those two bots. So let me try here, and I can quickly take a look here if it's working. Yeah, I see here. Yeah, there we go. So at any moment now, they will start discussing. Hey, Bob. So I'm and here they will start discussing. And you have to read fast.
This is a killer smile there.
Oh, what have been your favorite discovery lately? That's funny. They probably so he will come up with something crazy as usual, I guess. Oh, the bioluminescent forest in Ebola. That's probably where I also found the flowers, you know. The funny thing here is what is happening here is not real time. I have to slow it down because depending on the models that I'm using here, it can go really, really, really fast. Okay. And so what I'm doing, in fact, every time that they have a discussion, every time that they are having a discussion, I publish. Where can I see that? I also send the discussion to Kafka, and my front-end app, which is a Quarkus app, is listening to this Quarkus topic, and there with a multi, I can add some delay. So I tick every 5 seconds to introduce some artificial delay, so it looks like a conversation. Okay. I can probably show you that here. Yeah. So here it's reading from the discussion fragment streams that come from this topic here, discussions. And here I can say every 5 seconds you can read a new record. Okay. If I go here and I open the dev console and I go here to my topics, you can see that I have a discussion topic, and here you can send back the whole discussion. Okay, that means that you can at any point reuse it as well. Since in Kafka you can add a Kafka stream, you could do some windowing, crazy stuff. It's in Kafka. Okay, and for me it's a convenient way of sharing the discussion with something else. In this case, my front end. Okay, I want to show you the live bleep stuff, but for that I have to finish the discussion. And looks like they're still not done finishing the discussion. So what you can do, I added this button that send a stop signal to both of the bots saying basically, hey, please stop talking. So let's see if that if that's
The shut
working.
up button.
Yeah, shut up. I could have called it shut up, but you know. So because there's the delay here, you should see still the discussion happening, but in a few seconds, you should see here appear in the live feed some tweets. And we can take a look here if it's happening. Yeah, time to bleep. So there will be some bleeps at any point. It can take some time. And creating a bleep, so, oh, there we go. So Bob posted, wonderful conversation on Ebola reminds me to appreciate its beauty and wonder, discovering glowing flowers and mesmerizing firefly patterns. Okay, and he even used some hashtags. Okay, so that is already crazy. It's really funny. What I didn't do yet is having bots reading tweets from other bots and that they can react on that. That's my next step. And oh, look, here it failed, but it's a really interesting use case, and I will dive into that. Because I think what I'm asking the bleep bot is to spit out JSON, and I marshal that back to a bleep object. But sometimes, especially if I'm not using if I'm not using GPT, sometimes you don't he gave me the JSON, but he starts with, here is the JSON, okay? And I just want the JSON. I could parse that by hand, but what I did instead, I added some fault tolerance and resiliency. So, and I'm not there yet, but the idea is if you go to the bleep bot, so the bleep bot is there with a lot of instructions, but here if it fails, okay, if I got, and you can see here, I got you can see the exception, okay? If it fails, I ask him 3 times to retry, because often the second time it works. And if after 3 tries it doesn't work, well, go to the fallback, and here I say I am a bot and I'm not be able to generate that. I want to make that even smarter, maybe with a circuit breaker, and that he could switch to a different AI service, but I would have to do that a step higher in my architecture, but the plan is to add resiliency at this level as well. But at least it's working a bit here, yeah? Oh, and they are still discussing here the stuff. Let me check the time, yeah, I'm still. And here they're still discussing, so let me stop them. Let's do a fresh start. Flip. Okay, usually what I do, I also stop this one, and I do really a good clean here, and I stop all my containers. And yeah, that's maybe a bug I have to report for the dev services. I always have even if I don't have any Quarkus app running, the PG vector one always keep hanging. Oh, look at this, 90 hours ago. Yeah, let me stop this one. Okay, and let's do a fresh start. And let me show you something crazy that I added yesterday. I had the idea on Saturday evening. I say, oh, that will be so cool to add. So hopefully it will work.
That was very brave of you.
Yeah. Oh, that's what's that? Oh, yeah.
Like I said, that was very brave of you.
Yeah, no. That's a known bug. I talk about Clément about this one. If I have dev UI from a previous session open, and that I start an app, he will, because he's trying to pulling data. It's not really a bug it's just some warnings, some errors. I still need to open the ticket for that, but it has no effect on the rest. Let me start our bots. There we go. Okay. Okay, there's her. Let me just wait it to be finished. There we go. Okay, let's go back here. So we will have Alice walking to Bob. And at one point I said, hey, that's my word that I've created. I'm completely atheist, but I would like to play a bit like God, being able to speak to my bots and give them instructions and stuff like that. And that was Saturday evening, and I went on the Grok site, which is a really fast AI for Llama 3. And I was looking at what they had here, and I say, hey, they have speech to text. I say, that's funny. I never played with speech to text for AI, and they are using Whisper, so that's great. I say, oh, it would be cool if I can add a button, and that opens my Mac, and I can speak to my word, and that should set the additional context that I showed you before, where we said, let's discuss about the live stream. Here, I want to replace that with me speaking. So let's try. Let's see what happens. So here I have no context, and I could say, oh yeah, you are a developer and you are wondering if Java is better than .NET. Let's see if that worked. So the translation word, you are a developer and you are wondering if Java is better than .NET. So that is our context now. And if I start a discussion, hopefully, if the demo gods are with me, they should have a discussion about this topic.
I mean, if they come up with the answer that .NET is better, we're going to be very disappointed with this demo.
But look at this. Do you think Java is better than I work with both Java and .NET, and where they have. It goes really fast here, but they're speaking about Spring, Hibernate, dependency injection, but they will have a crazy discussion. And again, at any time, if you miss any of the discussion, you open the dev console and you go to the Kafka topic, and there you can find the whole discussion. But here, hopefully, they will finish their discussion pretty fast. Let me see. They're still discussing. Yeah, usually I'm patient, I'm waiting, but here I'm in stream, so I'm in stress. But at one point they will, stop. Look, that's great. He stopped the conversation. Let's see the tweets they made, and then let's see if I can change the context again. Changing context, I still have some weird behaviors, but I will be there. So now they're trying to make their bleeps. I guess it's failing again. Yeah, I can see some red here, so he will try again. Hopefully the second time will work. I really don't know because I could use tools from but that will stuck me to OpenAI because only OpenAI support tools now. It will come in Olama soon. Then I can switch to tools calling, which will be more resilient than expected. Oh, but here, look, here it works. Grateful for sharing thoughts with Alice. Our con reminded. Striving for innovation solutions. They're always hashtag software dev, hashtag innovation. And here, though it works, let's try something different now. Tomorrow, your planet will be attacked by dragons. I'm not sure.
I want to see tomorrow your planet will be attacked by dragons, and you have to decide whether to use Java or .NET to defend yourself.
So let's see what happens. I made some tests, to be honest, yesterday, and it isn't always working. I have to fine tune a lot of stuff. But
I think they're still running around and leave the dashboard.
Oh yeah, the planet is supposed to be attacked by dragons. It's not looking good. Yeah, maybe we should start thinking about evacuating and finding a safer place. Oh yeah, so here it's working. And it could be that at one point they start discussing about Java and .NET as well, But anyway, now I can interact with my bots just by speaking with
them. Look, they're doing it.
Yeah, they're doing it
because they drew on the context.
Okay, so let them discuss them a little bit, just to show you, because I've been using almost all the features available that are made available with the LangChain4j extension. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Like one great thing is the I don't know if you know this interface, is the text segment transformer. So when you ingest documents that you put them in chunks, what you can do is add metadata. Okay, you can do that since the beginning of since the first release. You can do that, but until a few releases ago, you were not able to do anything with this metadata. So here I add the creation date, the avatar name. Later on, I want to add stuff like how many times this segment has been accessed. But the great thing about this is once you have added metadata in your ingester, what you can do, you can the retriever, you can now add a filter. And here I can do my similarity search, okay? But I can also add a filter based on my metadata. So here I can say, I'm putting all the chunks from Alice and Bob in the same table, but here I can say, I can retrieve all the memories for Bob. If it's Bob retrieving the memories, I will only get the memories from Bob. I could even make it smarter and having only retrieve the memories, the chunks from you speaking to Alice. So you can go crazy about that, but it's pretty easy here. You just implement that, the transform stuff, and then you just have to add. I hear that we all have meetings in 10 minutes. Okay, so that is some of the great stuff I've been adding. What else do I have that is specific to
Oh, we've got a question too. So Daniel asks, can it be used for something like ordering pizza on a pizza selling website? If I, for example, say that I'm lactose intolerant and would like some proposals for them from the menu.
Oh yeah, that especially if you start combining that with the tools. Okay, so function calling, and that the function calling is connected to the real pizza shop. Yeah, you can that could work. Yeah, without any issue. So yeah, there's no limit of what you can do with that. That was started as a fun experiment, and looks like they're still talking here. Yeah, that's funny. You know. But yeah, as I said, here I'm using it in a funny situation, but it could be used in a company about communication, or a political party that want to try out a new idea. It could throw it in and create a lot of different avatars that represent the population, and just launch a discussion there and see what comes out of it. So that's it. The next plans are to put that to.
They're writing code. They're about to test it.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. That is one of my ideas. I want them to have their own private cloud, and that they can create some code, and that they can deploy it in this internal cloud. So they can create their own REST endpoints if they find that useful. That is one thing I want to do. I started to play with vision and text and image generation. So what I want them to be able to do, sometimes they're talking about gardening and they're speaking about new tools. I want them to be able to create those tools and create an image of that. And the other bot with the vision, he can watch this tool and comment on this tool. And and then you can go completely crazy. And the other thing is, each bot will become a pod, so I can deploy it easily to Kubernetes. I already have my operator ID, so everyone can have an avatar, a custom resource, and deploy it. And so I've still a lot of stuff to do, and my bots are still talking there, and dragons are coming tomorrow. Yeah, they're still talking about dragons. I stopped the app there, and he's talking about test environments, but I don't know if it's linked. I should, but it's really funny. And here it's a 2D, but what I would love to have also is a bit this view, from up, and having all my avatars moving together, and when they walk to each other, they start talking, and so there's still a lot to do. But yeah, that's it.
That is awesome. So we've got a final comment from Zineb as well. Just very fun demo.
Yeah. And stop! They're stopping the discussion here. And it isn't. If people are interested, I still need to clean it a bit up, but I will push it really soon to a repo, so people can just play with it. And again, if you have Olama, you don't need anything else than cloning the app, starting 2 bots with different ports, different names, having Olama running, and you can try it out yourself. So I see here. Yeah, spoiler. So that's it. Look, they're still tweeting here. The tweeting is working really well. So that I'm happy. But yeah, maybe in a few months I will be able to come back, and we'll have thousands of bots, and they will have start a new civilization, and I don't know, as long as they don't try to take over. My wife is always afraid of that, and could happen. We are a big fan of Terminator 2, so. But that was for me. I was really happy. It's really the first time that I can present that during a presentation. I've been tweeting a lot about that. I've made some small videos, but it's really the first time. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to. And again, it's a joy to develop with Quarkus. When I'm developing here, I got those 3 apps running. And with the live reload, I just can change the model, add new whatever I do, I never have to stop. It just works. So
is there a feature you're missing?
a feature I'm missing. And Georges will implement it tonight.
You've met him before.
Yeah, I have some ideas. Yeah, right now I can think of directly. Yeah, tool support for in Olama would be nice, but it don't only depend from Quarkus. There's some stuff to be done at Olama and in upstream LangChain4j, and then
And the model also.
yeah. But there's some stuff, and yeah, maybe adding image as generation has been added, but maybe voice, speech to text, the endpoint. I am doing that by hand now. Here, the transcription service. I'm doing a old school REST service, but if the LangChain4j could support also the transcript, translate, speak endpoints, that could be nice. But
Yeah, I was going to ask you how you were doing the voice, because I didn't think it had the support, and now I see.
Yeah. And but that would be easy. I could even contribute to that, and yeah, and stuff like I'm discussing with Georges right now about using the stop sequence, but I'm not sure it will help my use case. You can pass a token that stop the generation of token, but it won't stop the conversation, I think. But yeah, I'm discussing with Georges with that, so it's not it's fun to contribute to this project as well, because everyone is really reactive on this, especially Georges. I think he has a special device that's when there's an issue open in this repo, that's an alarm in his house, because 1 minute after I got a reply.
It's really George's avatar now. Now you know.
Yeah.
Oh, I could do something fun, having Georges discussing here with the bots. Maybe.
Yeah. Auto Georgios.
Oh yeah, two Georges discussing together. Yeah, and and as rack we give them the whole git repo, so we get all the context, and yeah. Okay, so that's all. If you for people, if people want to follow the progression, follow me on Twitter. You can see it here. CB2706, and and I also have been accepted at a conference to speak about that. It's a French conference, but the Fest Toulouse in November, so it'll be fun. My idea is to have real robots that speak together, but that involves a bit more engineering. But with raspberries inside, and I don't know. I have a lot of ideas.
Cannot wait to see that one.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you so much for showing it, and we'll share the repo once that's available.
Once it's available, I will try to do that this week.
And can't wait for what comes next. Cool. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All.
Bye.